good morning, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to Guildhall for the very inaugural Global Risk Summit, which of course is the cornerstone of the inaugural London Risk Week. Now, for those of you that don't know me, although you've just heard the introduction, I am Sue Langley, the Lady Mayor this year of the City of London, and an insurer, as many of you know, through and through. Now, I act as ambassador for the UK's financial and professional services sector for the City and for the UK. And I head up the City of London Corporation, the Square Miles governing body, which has been based in this very building since the 15th century. Now, as the Great Fire of London raged through this capital in 1666, Samuel Pepys actually described seeing Guildhall's solid oak timbers glowing through the haze as if it had been a palace of gold or a great building of burnished brass. Now, while Guildhall actually survived, 80 to 85% of the city was completely destroyed. 13,000 houses, 87 churches, 44 livery halls, the Royal Exchange, the Custom House, and of course, the old St. Paul's Cathedral. Now, London rebuilt, as it always does, the new metropolis rising like a phoenix from the ashes. But the crisis actually gave birth to something else, the insurance industry. And by 1690, 1 in 10 houses in this capital were insured. And just 50 years after the disaster, the Sun Fire Office, RSA Insurance Group today, had underwritten policies totaling 10 million, enough to cover the entire cost of property destroyed by the Great Fire. So for centuries then, the City of London hasn't just been a place of business and trade, but one of creativity and innovation in periods of intense upheaval and uncertainty. A place where risk is managed, and a place that is square only in name. And that's really important because today the risks we're facing are perhaps more challenging and complex than at any time in living history. Increasingly global, systemic, interconnected. Conflicts are raging across the world, with disruption in one jurisdiction rippling across continents in a matter of days, hours, minutes, seconds. Supply chains falter, markets react, and real lives are affected. Rising global temperatures mean extreme weather events are more common, and they're more intense than ever before, driving rising and often unpredictable losses. And technology, of course, is racing ahead, reshaping industries and operational risk faster than perhaps we can fully grasp. And it's in periods of instability and change, periods like this, that London's world-leading insurance sector comes into its own, stabilising the global economy by underwriting complex, specialty and emerging risks that standard insurers can't or won't cover. The London market, as you know, is part of a unique ecosystem of capital, talent and experience, not just in insurance, but in associated professions like law and accountancy that our competitors simply can't replicate. Which explains why we now enjoy a remarkable global market share of 45% in marine, aviation and energy risks, and why 68% of the premiums written here in London are for international clients. And our expertise in areas like AI and cyber is evolving as rapidly as the technology themselves. I know something we will hear more of today. So altogether, the industry generates 61 billion for the UK economy, and it's more than doubled its premium over the last 10 years, making it larger than its 5 closest competitors combined. But of course, here in London, this is about much more than money. The benefits of this success story are felt by billions of people around the world, even, to be honest, if they aren't immediately aware of it. Because the insurance sector allows innovation to thrive, gives businesses the confidence to expand, and ultimately, it enables growth. As we look ahead to the period of unprecedented change ahead of us, the London market will absolutely, I believe, prove more important than ever before. So this summit is an opportunity to do 2 things. Firstly, of course, to showcase the full depth and breadth of London's unique offer. But secondly, to use the city's strong platform as a trusted global convener to spark a senior-level strategic discussion on the most pressing global risks facing businesses today. Other jurisdictions, the US, Monaco, have convened large-scale events for many years. So it's only right that, as the home of risk, London now has its own one-of-a-kind Global Risk Summit and Global Risk Week. This day will open with a focus on how the changing geopolitical landscape is reshaping global risk profiles, supply chains, and insurability. Before taking a little more detailed look at emerging and systemic risks such as the opportunity and challenges associated with AI, NatCat and sustainability risks in an ever-changing climate, and of course, cybersecurity, with an emphasis on collaboration between the government and the private sector. We have some absolutely fantastic speakers, and you'll hear the perspectives of business leaders, policymakers, insurers, and security experts. And we're fortunate to be joined by, well, we'll find out at 11. Someone who will set out the national and international policy context for global risk. So, as a perfect example of in the face of instability and upheaval, the city has never shied away. It's innovated, it's adapted, and it's always found a way to manage risk. The risks, as I said, that we face are unprecedented and ever-changing. But as we come together here today and harness the experience and expertise of every person in this room, I believe that we can ensure global businesses are prepared not only to face this new world, but to thrive within it too. This is a concept we first talked about 2 years ago when I was asked why London didn't have a risk summit of its own. And I thought, that's a very good point. And now, of course, we do. And I hope it's something that will continue in the future. So I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors, our speakers, but of course to you, our attendees, and all of the firms and organisations that have put on a number of events over this Risk Week. But now it gives me great pleasure to hand over to our moderator, the presenter and broadcaster, Tina. Thank you.